This is Vanessa Joy here for Adorama TV, and you're gonna sweat with me today in this awesome Camaro. And by Corvette, I meant Camaro.
Oh, by Camaro you meant Corvette.
What did I say, Corvette?
You said Camaro.
I said Camaro.
It's a Corvette.
I'm a girl. We're shooting with this car. All right, what I've got here that we're gonna shoot with today, I thought we would play around with more of a budget lens and more of a not so budget lens, but maybe a budget lens if you're considering a 70-200 2.8, and this is much less expensive because this is a 4. I also have an EF 70-300 image stabilized lens, but this one is not an f4. This is, I always have to read it, it's a 4. Well, so it can go to 4 only at 70, but it's a variable aperture, so 4 to 5.6. So technically not as good of a lens as this, but we're gonna play with both of these and see what we come up with our gorgeous model, Nikki. And hopefully you'll stop photographing me because I am sweating. Beautiful. And look over your shoulder. Yep, I love this. So this is looking good. Just so you know my settings, I'm hovering between like 4. Let's put the info on here, 5, 6, and 4. So if I'm zoomed all the way out to 70, I can go as low as 4.5. But when I zoom in, I'm at 5.6, and I do like to be zoomed in. I love the compression, looks amazing. I'm gonna throw in a reflector, and boy, do I have a legend. I literally can't believe Dennis Reggie's about to hold a reflector for me. It's insane. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Dennis Reggie, who is literally the inventor of photojournalistic wedding photography and the reason why I'm a wedding photographer. And he's about to hold a reflector for me. This man has shot JFK Jr.'s wedding, Mariah Carey's wedding. Like, you've literally photographed every famous person of all time. Literally, all of them. And now I'm gonna hand you a reflector. A $20 reflector. All right, so come on over. We'll put Dennis's information below so you can check out his work. But yeah, if you look that way again, Nikki, and I'm thinking I'm close cropped and vertical, so if you can find it, maybe a little bit closer so I get a little more in her eyes. Yes, that looks so good. Okay, and then I'm gonna run away. Gorgeous. I'm gonna switch to that other lens. So again, throwing on the 70-200 f4 lens, it certainly will make a difference when it comes to the fact that my exposure won't be moving around because it's an f4 lens and it's a static f4. Right off the bat, I can see so much more clarity in this image. That's crazy. Well, there's a reason it's more expensive, right? Now, these both have image stabilization, which I forgot to turn on, but I still want to be higher on my shutter speed because Nikki's gonna move around a lot. So I'm actually gonna make a few adjustments to my exposure so I can raise my shutter speed. Come forward and like lean more on the steering wheel. I've never been more nervous in front of a car before. Gorgeous. And then look out this way towards the reflector. That looks good. I think we got a lot of great shots between these two lenses, so let's bring up those photos, take a look, see if you notice any difference. If you like what you see as far as posing and want more inspiration, download this free posing inspiration guide. It's great for individuals, couples, and groups. You can grab it in the link below.
All right, friends, I have something to admit to you. I almost threw this entire video in the garbage because it wasn't perfect, but you know what? I decided photography isn't perfect, and I'm going to show this to you anyway. So try not to rip me apart because you know what? Sometimes stuff happens, and I think this is important for everyone to see. So here are the photos that we have, and I'm just going to show you what I narrowed them down to. Now, the first photos that you see up here, let's just go through them, and you can see my settings over here. Number 1, I was most definitely too low on my shutter. You can see a little bit of motion blur, specifically in this image. And as we go through, you're also going to notice these are not super sharp until, bam, we switch to the better lens right here, and now they're sharp. And I was going back through these photos and thinking maybe it was a lens quality issue, but then I looked a little bit closer and saw that it seemed to have back focus because this pattern on the door here seemed to be pretty sharp, or maybe it was an illusion, but her eyes definitely weren't sharp until I switched the lens. Anytime you rent a lens, you know, sometimes that happens and it's just not particularly obviously calibrated to your camera, but it might not be the sharpest lens in the entire world. So moving on to the other lens, the 70-200 f4, we've got beautiful communication between the camera and lens. Her eyes are just tack sharp in every single one. And I did up my shutter speed a little bit, so that was definitely helpful. These are all of these straight out of camera images, so you can see exactly what it looks like before I started editing them. And then we're going to plop over to Lightroom, and here are my favorite images that I really enjoyed editing. I did a little bit of a funky edit on these actually. Let me go back and see what I did because I just don't remember. Let's take a look. All right, so I started with actually Manny Ortiz's preset Toronto on these, and it just gave that vibe that I was going for. These are the finished ones with the less expensive lens that the focus didn't miss right here. But you know, I still like them. If you were going to put these on Instagram, no one would notice that there wasn't, you know, super sharp. So they're not total garbage. Am I super happy with them? 100% no. I would have just died if this was a paid shoot and probably offered to do it again. But here we go on the favorite photos for the 70-200 f4. Naturally, there were a couple more of them, being that they were definitely much sharper. So all of these pictures had that Toronto preset on it. Yep. And then I went ahead and did a little bit of retouching, I think on this one. No, not even. I really didn't do too much, but here's a little before and after, just so you can see. Yeah, no, I did do some skin smoothing in my local adjustment brushes over here. Let's just turn that off so you can see a little bit of a difference. Just see how it kind of smooths everything out. Not too bad. Those presets you can find at Breathe Your Passion or presets.breatheyourpassion.com. And these are the final photos. Definitely liking the sharp ones better. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show you. I'm going to own up to it and let you see it so that if this happens to you at some point, you know what? Sometimes it's not your fault and you just need to get the lens tweaked or calibrated to your camera, and it is what it is.
I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I certainly have enjoyed sweating for you. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, ring the bell here on Adorama TV. I'll see you next time.